morning from Vancouver, everyone, and welcome to the Metals Investors Forum, September 2020, a presentation on Sun Peak Metals. As Eric said, Sun Peak is targeting gold and copper deposits in what we call the Shire VMS project in northern Ethiopia. The usual disclaimer and forward-looking statements are worth looking at, especially in light of the fact that we're in the middle of a global pandemic and things happen and things get slowed down. So Sun Peak Metals, it was founded, as Eric said, 4 years ago. Before that, the three of us, three founders, we've worked together for over 20 years. We've worked in East Africa since 2002, so coming up on 18 years now. First with Nevsun at the Bisha project in the discovery period. And then we manage Sun Ridge Gold, also in Eritrea, and VMS deposits. After the sale of Sun Ridge in 2016, we began to look south. Essentially, the trends go north-south, and the border with Ethiopia goes east-west. So we made a decision to go look into Ethiopia. Jumping ahead 4 years later, we now have the Shire project, a large land position, 900 square kilometers, located in northern Ethiopia, in the Arabian-Nubian Shield, the same geological environment as both Bisha and the Asmara project. We have 18 years under our belt in this region. To date, we have a high number here, numerous targets, 24 high priority gold and base metal targets. That's a big number, but that's the nature of these deposits. These VMS deposits occur in clusters, and they are very good targets. And eventually, I suspect we'll probably drill every one of them. Earlier this year, in February and March, we completed our first drill program on the project. We drilled 19 holes on 3 targets. We hit on every hole, and we intercepted some of the best in copper intervals on the project to date. And now it's September 10th. We're in the process of mobbing in 3 drills. Next month in October, we will have 3 drills operating. We intend to drill 8,000 meters by the end of 2020. One drill will target the mineralization we've intercepted already, and 2 will hit new targets for new discoveries. As I said, we'll drill 8,000 meters by the end of this year, but we also intend to drill 18,000 meters by June of next year. So we're not going to stop drilling at the end of the year. We're just going to continue right on through to 2021. We're well financed. We have $11.5 million Canadian in the bank. And as Eric said, we are a new issuer on the TSX Venture. Our symbol is PEAK, nice and clean, P-E-A-K. So our team, myself, David Dowd, Scott Ansell, as I said, we've worked together for almost 25 years and 18 years in the Arabian-Nubian Shield. We also have David Oram as chairman. Some other notable names on our management team, Steve DeYoung, from Integra, Doris Meyer and Dan O'Brien, we've worked with for a decade and a half. Haley DeWitt from Pathway Ventures in the UK is on as a director. And we have Francis McDonald on the advisory board. And Francis worked in Ethiopia for Newmont for a couple of years on their project, which is adjacent to ours. So as I said, 900 square kilometers, known as the Shire project in northern Ethiopia. So this is a map of the Arabian-Nubian Shield in the gold color. And the Arabian-Nubian Shield is located on the west and the east side of the Red Sea. As you can see, Bisha and the Asmara project are located on the north side of the border. Our new project, the Shire project, is in the same trend directly across the border. Zooming in a little more, this is a property map of our land position, the Shire project. So Sun Peak's projects are in gold. The Adidero and Nefisit license are 100% owned by Sun Peak. The Meli and Terer licenses, we have a joint venture agreement where we can earn in 70% with an Ethiopian partner named Izana. Also notable on the map, Newmont also has a joint venture with the same partner we have, Izana. And Newmont has a large position to the southwest of us. Now, these VMS trends come down from our previous project, the Asmara project. They cross the border. I think you can see my cursor here. They cross the Terer and Adidero licenses and the north part of the Nefisit. And this area is exposed. These high priority targets are all exposed. The the prospective trend continues, but they're underneath the cover of rocks down underneath the town of Shire. But then the window reappears on our Meli license, and then the trends are headed east-west, and the trends carry on off to the west where Newmont has been drilling for the last year successfully. We've drilled 3 targets already, the Argo and Keel and the Meli Target. And over the next few pages, I will just go over some of our key targets that we will be drilling before the end of this year, starting with our Meli Target. The Meli Target is located in the southwest of our licenses, adjacent to Newmont's licenses. The target itself is right smack in the middle. There's a large Gossan, which is the surface expression of the VMS deposit, from surface down to about 20 meters, which is currently being mined by our partner. So our agreement excludes the top 20 meters, and it's everything below it and everything around it. Izan, our partner, had drilled 75 holes into this deposit, but almost all the holes were just targeting the top 20 meters, and only a couple of holes were targeted below it and assayed. But this is what brought our attention to the area in 2016, 4 years ago. They had 2 holes of the material that we're looking for, 17 meters of 4.2% copper with 1.5 grams gold, and another interval of 25 meters approximately of greater than 2% copper and around 3 grams gold. So that's what brought us there. We've looked at it. We think there's an opportunity to build a lot of tonnage. Our goal is to build a minimum of 25 million tons in this location, which is comparable to what the first resource estimate was at Bisha in 2004. We have done a lot of work. We've done a large electromagnetic airborne survey, helicopter supported, which identified conductors in the ground. And we've done a lot of ground gravity, which is a key tool for us. So our initial drill program, we merely stepped back underneath the Gossan and drilled a fence of 7 holes. We had intended on drilling at least 10, but we should cut it short because of COVID measures in March. But all holes hit. And notable, we thought the zone continues to the left of the map, a couple of kilometers to the west. But we also thought it was probably closing off to the right, to the east. But our drilling happily proved it differently, where it's opening wide open. Our second and third holes hit, with hole 2 hit 37 meters at 2.4% copper and 2.4 grams per ton gold. Hole 3 below it hit 35 meters of 1.8% copper and 2.5 grams per ton gold. So that's the exact material we're looking for. We're trying to find 25 million tons, and we think by applying our methods, we can do it. So this is the gravity map. This is the area that we drilled. The purple dots are Izanas, where they're mining out the top 20 meters. We've drilled below here. What we're looking at in this gravity signature is variations of density, and the massive sulfide is very dense, so it shows up. So we're seeing it continuing a couple of kilometers, and then a very large gravity target, which is comparable to what we saw at Bisha in 2003, which targeted our drilling on the Bisha deposit. On top here, we found a series of Gossans, so this has quickly become a high priority target. The same area, now this is VTEM showing conductors. We see that the area we're drilling has a conductor to the east and to the north. So essentially, over the next few months, we will test this area here, test the area to the north, a few hundred meters, this large conductor, touch the gravity anomaly with the conductor in the center with the Bisha size anomaly, and then test this target down here. It all has the same characteristics that we're looking for. So now we're moving about 40 kilometers to the north onto our Nepocet and Terer licenses. And this area represents, it's about 3 by 4 kilometers. Where about 5 of our high priority targets that we'll be drilling in the upcoming program. We'll have 2 drills designated for this area. It's sort of collectively called Angoda, Terer, and Hamlo targets. And what brought our attention here initially was we conducted a large soil geochem, and it had very strong copper and zinc in the trends. We subsequently did detailed ground gravity, and we found these very strong gravity anomalies directly on top of the trends. And then in subsequent work, we did airborne. On this page, we're looking at conductors, and the conductors lined up. Angoda North was a very large conductor on top of a large gravity anomaly. Same thing at Terer, and same thing at Hamlo. In subsequent work over the last 6 months, we've now detail mapped it. And in all cases, we found large Gossans poking out of the ground, which means everything that brought us there, the geochem, the electromagnetics, the gravity, In follow-up work, it's actually, they poke out of the ground. And at Angoda North, we have an 800-meter long Gossan. It's about 40 meters wide, very large. And this area here, in light of the large gravity anomaly and VTEM, has potential to be a very large VMS system. The Terer target, very similar, and off to the north of the map, the Hamlo target. As I said, we have numerous targets, but these are all ones that we'll be drilling in the next 4 months. So it'll be worth paying attention as we drill these, and we expect to be successful. So our share structure, we now have 78.4 million shares outstanding. The last financing we did was privately late last year in 2019. We raised $12 million. We still have about 11 million in the bank. We're very thrifty. By drilling 18,000 meters between now and June, we'll still have around 4 to 5 million in the bank. So some of our key shareholders are insider ownership has about 30%. RCF out of Denver is our largest shareholder, and they're around 7%. Eric Sprott has come in late last year. So we have a very good list of shareholders. So in summary, our team has worked in this region for a long time. We like to think we know what we're doing. We're thrilled with our new Shire project, 900 square kilometers, but more importantly, we are in the key trend that we were previously in with both Bisha and the Asmara project. We have 4 licenses, Nefesit and Adidero are 100% Sun Peak, and Meli and Terer, we have a joint venture partner with Izdana, the same partner that Newmont has. We will have 24 high priority targets. 6 of them we'll test before the end of the year, and the rest will be next year. The initial drill program intercepted some of the best results to date earlier this year. We're well financed to drill. We're moving in right now as we speak. We've had to navigate through some of the COVID measures, but our Canadian teams are arriving again. Some of them are already there. The drills are moving in the next few weeks, and by early October, we should have 3 drills turning. We expect to generate a tremendous amount of news over the next, well, until the end of the year and beyond. And Sun Peak is now trading on the TSX Venture since August 17 under the name symbol Peak. So thank you very much. There's my contact details. I'm happy to answer questions anytime. And stay tuned as we start drilling. We should have a lot of exciting news to come. Thank you.